Hey, Jules Vegan, and as always, welcome to my channel. And for those of you who are new, I know you can benefit. Welcome to my freshly cut bangs, of which I did myself in desperation. My hair is long and lovely, but man, these ends need attention, and I just haven't had the time. Obviously, I just finished school yesterday for the year, and now I get a month off. I will find a way to trim this hair, but I'm not going to let someone chop it. You know, sometimes they start with the premise of trimming it, and next thing I know, 3 inches are off, and I'm not up for that. My problem is that my hair gets so curly that it becomes like, so for right now, I'll let it hang a little heavier and pull down those curls a little bit. Okay, we are talking about how to stay raw in your social life. If you're not raw vegan, ain't no thing, because these are just great tips for any program that you're trying to implement in your social life where people may not be totally supportive, but they may not understand either. I know for me, I am my own greatest enemy. I can blame everyone around me, but to be fair, people don't care that much. They might fret for a moment, but they're not going to continue to fret. So if I use excuses about why I couldn't stay to my plan, it's literally that, an excuse. Okay, number one was be prepared. Planning is everything. Consider the season, your life as a whole. What will it look like? Are you going to travel? Like, these are things. What's coming up for summer, right? What is coming up for summer? Number two, know yourself. Listen, and don't compromise your health at any cost. Not worth it. When you need a break, take one. Yeah, like I blew it yesterday. My husband, we used to always celebrate whenever one of us would get paid. And of course, celebrate means to eat toxic food, to get out to restaurants. I can always make my best food at home, like straight up. And so we suddenly were going out, and just wasn't ready. Mentally, I wasn't ready. I didn't have the courage to say no. I wasn't prepared at all. My dinner, I knew what I was going to have at home. So yeah, suddenly I had to navigate a menu, navigate the stress of the restaurant. It was a lot. It was a lot of stress. And I was pouting because, of course, much of it was not going to be as vegan as I needed to be. So anyway, I just have to have that honest conversation with my husband where I can just say, hun, I'm still early on in getting clean and I just can't eat out. But that's not a boundary I had yesterday. Okay, deal with family. You can still love them. Choose who you hang out with. Simplify, detoxify your social community. Like, are there a bunch of people on social media that you technically don't even know? And you would never know them in your life but for social media? So when you go to, there's those little 3 dots in the right-hand corner, especially like in Facebook, I think in anything, but you don't have to block someone. You can just unfollow them. You can also stop receiving as much information from them, but they won't see that you unfriended them, right? But if you need to unfriend them, so what? What is the biggest risk, right? I had a really precious friend in my life, and I had to unfriend them. And it's been hard at times, but it's what I needed. So you got to pray about it and decide what you want to do. On the next one, be active. Get up early and go for a walk. Stay on your exercise regime. Regimen. There's no N on the end, so is it just regime? Your movement plan. Okay, this is something I've been doing well. I'm on like day 54 of making sure that I'm hitting 10,000 steps and often more. And that was a really important change for me because I'd become very sedentary for many reasons. And obviously, driving the 100 miles a day, which is about 2.5 hours, right? Just all the different things I was doing, I suddenly was very sedentary. Using a lot of computer and not getting up around the classroom as much. I've been changing that. So it's been about 54 days, yay me. It's just one thing right. Okay. The next one is make lists. This is crucial. You need to make a list for everything. Once it is on the list, it is out of your head. I love that idea, but I've never had the discipline to do it. I'm not saying no. I'm just saying it's not like a natural thing for me. The next one is eat to live. For most of us, abundance is a culprit. So many choices, too much food, and crap. If you look up and put in my search crap, it's going to come up. And there's actually an acronym for each letter. It explains to you the different junk in our food, in our culture, in our community. So it's worth looking up. Go up there into my little search on JulesBlessedVegan and put in crap. It's pretty informative. Okay, the next one is bring your own food. When going to a party, always bring your own food. Unless you know the host to be overly willing to serve you. Or again, eat before. Make sure you have enough to drink. Fake that you have a stomach ache. Fake that you're dealing with, you're trying to figure out which allergies to food you have, so you're being very careful. Like, whatever it takes. Are those lies? God knows your heart. It ain't no thing. You're just trying to make it through an event. And this is note to self. It's always note to self, okay? Just know that I'm talking to myself. Okay, say no and yes. When you learn how to say no to that which is not serving you, a time out can do wonders. So I guess, again, when you are trying to figure out what are your trigger foods, like in the 12-step program, they literally refer to it in Overeaters Anonymous as your alcoholic food choices. What are those choices that are going to keep you in the bar, so to speak, all night? And for me, I know it's things like breads. It's certainly things like packaged treats. It's definitely, to an extent, cooked foods. Those things just make me crazy. It just makes me want more and more and more. So I so get that. All right, the next one, sleep. Absolutely underrated and so simple. Rest and sleep. The body regenerates during sound and calm sleep. That's a really tough one for me, you guys. I'm not saying no. It's just a tough one for me because even in my sleep, I'm one of those people who talks in my sleep, moves all around in my sleep, because I tend to drink water throughout the night. I get up a lot to go to the restroom. I'm able to fall right back asleep, luckily. But sleep is a tricky one for me. So the calm sleep, not so much. But I do want my body to regenerate. They do say, in terms of dieting, sleep is like one of the most successful elements. I'm open. I am. Okay, gratitude and serving. This is a season for giving, for bringing joy and gratitude to the world. By counting our blessings, we are blessing others. By serving, not pleasing. We're not talking about people pleasing. By serving, we are communicating from the heart. Be grateful for this journey. You are a blessed one, which of course I end every video with. So let's look back, be prepared, know yourself, deal with family, simplify, be active. Well, I think we skipped simplify. I'm sure we skipped it. Simplify said time to simplify. You are always enough. God, ain't that the truth? Okay, so I spent the day at my regular school in my classroom, and if anybody's been following me, like seriously 3 years ago, I had lost my job for the first time ever in terms of teaching. And I ended up having to get this job out in the deeper deserts, so 50 miles each way. And when I got there, the school building was beautiful. I mean, I just saw from the outside and said, "Oh, thank you, Father." And when you walk in the main hallway, there's this beautiful dome glass light and a ward cabinet. And I was just like, I have hit the jackpot. I signed on that dotted line. And then I got to my classroom, which is a portable trailer that was like 1 billion years old. And even the fabric in the walls was torn. The floor carpeting was a mess. I wanted to cry. My husband literally said, "You can run. You do not need to stay." And I was like, no, I'll just cover it all up with happiness, posters, whatever. And I did. So now that I realize I'm going to have to stay like 7 more years, I went ahead and started stripping the walls and was suddenly reminded of the nightmare that I had experienced 3 years ago. And yeah, it was a bit overwhelming, but I had the courage to throw some things away. At first, I was really carefully taking everything off and removing every staple. And then finally, by grace, I was like, I'm never going to use this again. And did the children even benefit from this? And do I really need it? And I really had the courage to actually let things go. Well, that's the story in my house right now. The reason I haven't put that kitchen together as quickly as I wanted was because I'm realizing I need to get rid of about half of all of that. It is stuff that's just going to sit unused. Other people, by grace, can use it. And even though I know a lot of people have the courage to sell things online, I just want to give it away and praise God for the time I had it, and just bless the next person. So anyway, simplify is one that I missed. Make lists, eat to live, bring your own food, say no and yes, sleep, and gratitude and service. All right, my friends, that's the story here at JulesBlessedVegan. Do you like that? Tomorrow, I am going to talk about Marcus Rothkranz. What? Yeah, because I finally got the book I was waiting on. I had to trade out the other book and give it back, which is fine. And I really, really like his philosophy on this card, but we'll talk about that tomorrow. All right, my friends, like if you like, join us if you haven't subscribed. Let me know in the comments below how I may support you. If you are celebrating 4th of July, be safe. Be safe. There's crazy mindsets out there. And I was just remembering as a little girl, I was running on the beach on the 4th of July weekend, and a firecracker went off in the sand. And it literally blew a hole in the underside of like 2 of my toes. Oh my gosh. I mean, that took a long time to heal. And I just kind of always remember that. Yes, 4th of July is very exciting, but the amount of fireworks, the M80s, the craziness that goes off, that not only leave my dogs frothing at the mouth, endanger my horses by spent fireworks coming down, upset veterans with PTSD, etc., right? But the amount that we use far exceeds all wars combined. Like those forefathers would just be going, I don't know, they'd probably be screaming and holding their hands over their head. All right, so enjoy, but be safe. And until we talk again, best of all, know that you're blessed.